Silence is not always peace. Sometimes silence is war. A war without shouting, without visible weapons, but a psychological battlefield where every pause cuts deeper than a blade. Picture this. Someone who once greeted you warmly now stands like a wall of stone. Eyes that once lit up at your presence now look through you, hollow and cold. Your messages are seen but never answered. Your questions receive replies so sharp and cold that they bleed. And slowly, your mind begins to unravel. What did I do wrong? Why are they ignoring me? Without realizing it, you start to lose yourself. The confident you becomes hesitant. The strong you becomes fragile. You begin chasing, guessing, begging for validation. This is no accident. This is the silent treatment, the quietest yet cruelest weapon of psychological manipulation. Research by Williams and Nita in 2007 revealed that being ignored activates the same part of the brain as physical pain. In other words, being deliberately silenced feels like being slapped in the face. If it lasts more than 3 days, studies show the impact is equal to verbal abuse. Silence destroys, not with screams, but with systematic indifference. And tragically, the most common response is to plead, to justify, to shrink, which is exactly what the manipulator wants: submission through guilt. But what happens when you refuse to submit? What if instead of collapsing, you rise? This is where Stoicism enters, not as an escape, but as power. Stoicism does not teach revenge. It teaches mastery of self, of mind, of emotions. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, true power is to be master of oneself. Today is not about learning to strike back. It's about learning to stand tall, calm, unshaken, untouchable. Because silence can destroy you, but silence, when used with awareness, can also set you free. 5 strategies will follow, not tricks, but elegant acts of psychological and stoic strength, not to dominate others, but to reclaim your life, not to beg for validation, but to rise above the noise. Because in silence, clarity is born, and from clarity comes power that no one can silence. Strategy 1. Stay silent, but radiate energy. The manipulator waits for your reaction. They want to see you restless, insecure, begging. Don't give them what they expect. Instead, give them silence, but silence full of life. Continue to grow, smile at work, pursue your goals, share your presence with grace, not to prove anything to them, but to remind yourself you are whole without anyone's validation. Psychologists call this expectation violation theory. When someone expects a reaction but receives the opposite, their brain panics. Uncertainty rises, stress hormones spike, the power shifts. Your calm becomes their chaos. Strategy 2. Hold the mirror. The silent treatment only works if you show dependence, but when you show calm indifference, it's like holding a mirror to their face. They see their game reflected back, and suddenly their silence feels empty, not powerful. This is freedom, not hatred, not revenge, but sovereignty over your emotions. Strategy 3. Grow without them. Their silence is meant to keep you waiting, but the most devastating response is to thrive in their absence. Show progress, build your life, succeed without their approval. Ryan and Dietschy's motivation theory proves it. Human beings crave competence and autonomy. When you embody both, the manipulator loses grip. Ironically, many will come crawling back, not out of love, but out of fear of losing control. Strategy 4. Become the enigma. Silent treatment works like fog. It confuses and entraps. But you can answer fog with fog. Be unpredictable, warm one day, reserved the next, present but untouchable. This creates cognitive dissonance, conflict in their mind, anxiety they cannot resolve. In this game, the mystery is deadlier than anger. Strategy 5. Close the door with dignity. Every game has an end. The difference is, this time, you choose the ending. Not with anger, but with calm authority. Say, I respect your choice to remain silent, but I cannot continue in a one-sided relationship. I value you, but I value myself more. These words cut deeper than rage because they reclaim the narrative. They take back the final act. Baumeister's research in 1998 showed that humans feel deepest loss of control when they are denied the ending they expected. By walking away with dignity, you shatter their illusion of power. And the cruelest truth for a manipulator is this: not when you fight back, not when you beg, but when you no longer need them at all. In the end, silence is a battlefield, but the strongest voice in that battlefield is not noise. It is the quiet strength of someone who refuses to be broken. Don't fear losing someone who chooses to ignore you. Fear losing yourself, trying to be understood by someone who never cared to listen. Today, you've learned a dark psychological truth, tempered by stoic wisdom, not to wound others, but to protect the fortress of your own mind. Stay calm, stay unshaken, because in a world full of manipulation and noise, your silence, rooted in self-mastery, will always be the loudest sound.